Hello, everyone. I'm Bo from Brutal Commentary, and today I'm going to be breaking down our featured fight for UFC Rio. In this matchup, we have Vicente Luque taking on Joel Alvarez. Before I continue, because it is the spooky season, figured I'd try and at least be a little festive. But with that being said, let's continue on. Luque is 23, 11-1 as a professional, 3-2 in his last 5 fights, while Alvarez is 22-3 as a professional, 4-1 in his last 5 fights. Looking at Luque, not been a pretty good stretch. He's been trading wins and losses, but even in some of his victories, he's not looked as impressive. Honestly, it's just like the wars Vicente Luque has been in, and I'll get to those in a second. It's just, I think it's caught up with him. When he suffered a brain hemorrhage to Jeff Neal about 4 years ago, roughly, 3 years ago, he suffered a dangerous brain bleed to Jeff Neal. Took rightfully about a year off or so. Came back in 2023. Got a decision win over RDA. Then he lost to, lost to Joaquin Buckley via TKO, where it kind of looked like he just wanted out of there when he started suffering ground and pound, just started shelling up. Then he came back in kind of prime form, or at least put on a vintage Vicente Luque performance when he submitted Themba Gorimba at UFC 310. Then in his most recent fight at UFC 316, he got Anaconda choked by Kevin Holland in a fight where he was also getting tuned up on the feet and actually suffered like a nasty hematoma on the side of his head. Meanwhile, Joel Alvarez, looking at his last 5, he TKOs Thiago Moises, but this is about 4 years ago now. Then he gets TKO'd himself against Arman Tsarukyan in what's not only his last loss, but only his second loss in the UFC. And now currently riding a 3-fight win streak, submitting Mark Casey, TKOing Els Brenner, and most recently TKOing Jakar Close. I will say I wish this was prime Vicente Luque, because I do believe that would make this fight of the night. I still think it could be fight of the night, but this is my favorite fight on the card, mostly because Joel Alvarez is one of my favorite unranked fighters right now. Now, it's important to note, Alvarez is stepping in on short notice. It's supposed to be Santiago Ponzinibbio in a fight I think definitely made more sense. A battle of older welterweights, kind of unks, and both of them just looking to maybe get one more win right off into the sunset. I don't think it's happening this one. Now, Alvarez has been a career lightweight, but usually his biggest opponent has been the scales, as he has missed weight before multiple times. I know he lost against Thiago Moises, and there's one other fight I can't remember off the top of my head, unfortunately. But he has missed weight before, and I know Alvarez has talked about moving to 170. The UFC wouldn't let him for whatever stupid reason. But now he gets a chance to finally move up to welterweight like he wants and fight Vicente Luque. What's crazy is Alvarez is still going to be the bigger guy. He's 6'3", with a 77-inch reach. Now, either A, he was the biggest lightweight on the roster, or 2, he's tied for it when Jalen Turner and Ignacio Bahamondes are in there. It's hard to say who is bigger of those 3. Joel Alvarez definitely in the front running in my mind. I mean, shoot, he's still going to be the bigger man in there against Luque, and Luque's a career to welterweight. But I guess looking at their overall styles first, let me get to Luque. Man, it is crazy to think how long Vicente Luque has been in the UFC. Made his debut in 2015, so he's been doing this for about a decade. And man, Vicente Luque, win or lose, was always a fighter you want to watch, man. All of his fights were barn burners. Almost every single one of them ended in a finish. He very rarely went to a decision in his career, win or lose. Actually, more so wins than he did loses. Most of his losses were decisions. But his style revolved around 2 things. One, his just absolutely aggressive and marauding style. Dangerous close quarter Muay Thai, good power in both hands, good elbows in close, good knees, crushing knees. I mean, shit. You saw the knees when he smashed Randy Brown, or the cross that he knocked out Bilal Muhammad in at UFC 205, or, Jalen Turner. Not to mention, whenever fighters do try and take Vicente Luque to the ground, he has some of the best front headlock series ever. He is currently number one in terms of wins via Darce choke and Anaconda chokes. Like, there was a saying, it was Luke Thomas when he did his post-fight show during, I believe this was UFC 265, when Luque submitted Michael Chiesa. And it's pretty apropos, where Vicente Luque, I don't know what rank he is as a jiu-jitsu practitioner. He might be a black belt. He might still be a brown belt. I do not know. But I can tell you, he has a black belt level Darce. His technique with the Darce choke is perfect. From the setup to being able to adjust the choke as fighters get out to the overall setup. Doesn't matter if he's using this arm to wrap around the neck. Does not matter. His front headlock series is a danger. And technically, he's not that old. He's 33. But boy, is he an old 33. This leads me to the second part about his style. Durability. His style mostly revolved around his durability and his ability to get shot. And boy, has he taken a lot of damage over the years. Not even me mentioning the brain hemorrhage he suffered against Jeff Neal, which was terrible. But like the war he had with Brian Barberina, or the fight against Leon Edwards, who hurt him multiple times, or against Wonder Boy. Hell, his most recent fight, Kevin Holland, he took a bunch of damage too. Like I said, he got a nasty hematoma on the side of his head from an elbow. And Holland was hurting him on the feet plenty of times before he snatched the anaconda. Unfortunately, it's just, you look at Vicente Luque now, he does fight a lot more passive. You can clearly see he doesn't want to suffer another life-threatening injury, and I don't blame him. But it's clearly affected his style, as his style revolved around that pressure, durability, and overall aggressiveness. So now he fights a little more safe and tentative, and fighters are able to either A, pick him apart, or 2, be more of a buzzsaw than he is and just kind of smash through him. Now, looking at Joel Alvarez, I have been thinking about it for a while before I started this video. And you can disagree with me, but I feel like Alvarez is kind of like the next step up in evolution of Luque's style. Both guys are very well-rounded. Both guys can finish a fight anyway. I mean, good God. Of 22 wins of Joel Alvarez's MMA career, not a single one has ever been a decision. He has finished every single fight, all 22. Now, there are some great things you can accomplish in MMA. Be undefeated, very, very, very rare. Win belts, all that. Being able to finish every single opponent that you stepped into the octagon with is one of the hardest things to do. Because you either A, have guys with good survivability, durability, or overall just defensively sound. The fact he's been able to finish all of these fights is insane. Now, of course, he's lost some. Like I said, the loss to Sarukian was prime example. But other than that, and Damir Ulanbekov, I apologize if I butchered that name. Those are the only ones to beat him. But they had the Mexican skill set to do it. This leads me to what I meant with Alvarez's style, about it kind of being the next evolution of Luque's. Where Luque's, for example, they're grappling. Luque has great front headlock series, but he doesn't have great submissions off his back. Alvarez, most of his wins, of his 22 wins, 17 are by submission. He is great with his guard game. Now, his wrestling defense is not the best, honestly. I think he's been taken down by every single one of his opponents, except for Ellis Brenner, I think. But at the same time, it doesn't matter to him because his guard is so dangerous, from snatching up the guillotine to getting arm bars, triangles. It doesn't matter. He has so many different options on the mat when it comes to the overall jiu-jitsu game of his. Now, of course, you don't like it when fighters want to just play off their back. And that's what Sarukian did. You know, Alvarez thought he could spin him off his back, and Sarukian just smashed him with his crushing top pressure and ground and pound. Now, it definitely seems Alvarez has improved since that fight. And even with his takedown defense still lacking, he's at least shown better ability to get up and some more urgency to not fight off the back. Now, he still will. But at the same time, when you have so much success like he has, I mean, only 3 losses of 25 fights, you're going to trust your skill sets. Now, on the feet, he uses his height and reach to great effect. Stinging power. I can't say he's one-punch KO like Luque is, but boy, when Joel Alvarez hits and connects, his opponents feel it. From his crushing cross, left hook, stinging jabs, kicks to all levels, and then his close quarters Muay Thai. He throws beautiful tomahawk elbows, like that actual arc you see, then hitting the elbow right at the dome, knees, and then even in the clinch, he's got some mean weapons. Like you saw with Carlos when he landed that flying knee, literally gets a guillotine under Close's head just so he can keep hitting him. The man is dangerous everywhere. That's why I wish they were in their prime, because I could imagine a fight where it's just like every single second of every minute for the 15 minutes. Man, it's just you be on the edge of your seat, like, when's it going to get finished? When's it going to get finished? Either Luque submits him, or Alvarez submits him, or one of them knocks each other out. But this is not prime Vicente Luque. This is a very old 33-year-old Vicente Luque, and I think Joel Alvarez is going to finish him. I am going to pick Joel Alvarez, and I do believe he's going to get the knockout. I mean, the odds show it. He is, I think, the biggest favorite on this card. All right, take it back. The second biggest favorite on this card. Alvarez minus 550. Luque plus 400. I understand it completely. These odds make total sense. I think Alvarez is... Do I want to say he's the lock of the card? I don't know, because Luque has definitely breathed life before. We thought Demba Garimba was, or most people thought Demba Garimba was going to beat Luque, who seemed washed, and Luque pulled it out. Hurt him with the right cross, cinched up the anaconda, and that was it. But I think Alvarez is more defensively sound with his jiu-jitsu defense or submission defense than Demba Garimba. He does not have the same attributes as Garimba. He's not going to get caught with the cross as easily. And I think he's going to be able to maintain range and pick apart Luque on the feet. And eventually, it's going to lead to, I believe, what's going to be a knockout win. Luque's chin isn't what it used to be. The durability is not the same. And his reaction to getting hit isn't as good as it used to be. With all that said, I got to go with Joel Alvarez, and I think he's going to get the TKO. I just see it. But with that being said, that's been my breakdown of this matchup. If you liked the video, comment and subscribe. Let me know what you think. Is this your favorite fight on the card, or is there something else? I know for me it is, and I think the finish that we're going to get in this one is going to be really fun. Next up, we'll have our co-main event, Davison Figueiredo taking on Montel Jackson. Until then, I've been Bo from Brutal Commentary. Thank you all for listening. Take care.